In this example, we're going to be working with a boundary boss base. Now, what a boundary boss base is, it's kind of a hybrid between a loft and a sweep. Now, let me show you how it works. So the first thing I want to do is draw a sketch. And I already have this sketch here of a circle. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it real quick here. So here's my circle. Here's my origin down here. I've got a dimension, how far it is above the origin. And I've got basically just a diameter of that circle. So now what I want to do is come over here to the side. So use a plane that is perpendicular to it. And over here you can see I've got this front plane, which is perpendicular. And that is the place that I want to draw my guide curves. So now let's go ahead and start a sketch. And I'm going to click normal to it. So I'm looking straight down at that plane. And let's go ahead and start with a line. Now I'm not going to try to snap that line to my circle quite yet. So let's go ahead and just start kind of just a little bit off that circle. Make a straight line, and then let's transition over to some type of another curve like a tangent arc. In this case here, let's go ahead and drop that way down to here. Then let's go over here and create a center line from the origin. So we're snapping together and make sure we are horizontal here so we all end up on the same exact plane. Now let's do exactly the same thing one more time. Close to the bottom of the circle, let's go ahead and make a line. Go back into the line. I'm going to transition over to a tangent arc pretty easily right there. All right, and now down here at the bottom, I want to make sure that this is a vertical line. So I'm going to make a line here at the end point, and then I'm going to add a relationship between this line and this curve here and say I would like those to be tangent. All right, now what we need to do is we need to connect the dots. So you can see here I've got the end point here, and I want it to be touching that circle there. And sometimes it's really hard to do that when you're only looking straight at the plane. Whereas if you spin it around in 3D a little bit, you can see what's going on, and I can choose that end point. Hold down Control, choose the circle itself, and say Pierce. Do the same exact thing here at the bottom point. So click on the point, choose the circle by holding down Control, and then click on Pierce. All right, now of course we can add some other dimensions here if we want to define this a little bit better, but for now, that's all we really need. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. So now you can pretty much see what's going to be going on here. So it's going to be very similar to what you'd see in a loft, because we're transitioning from one shape down to another shape, but we really don't need that second shape. We're really just giving it one shape and we're having it transform that shape using the guide curves. Okay, so back over here to features. Come over here to boundary, boss, and base. Click on that. So direction number 1, we're going to choose that circle. All right, so direction number 2, we're going to choose this line up here, and it's going to ask me to create that path. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the lines that make up that path and then click on the green check mark. All right, there's my first example of what's happening. Now, that looks pretty good, but we want to incorporate this other lower curve. So let's do it again. Click on that line there. Click on that next section there. And you can see, click on those. Now it brings it in and it guides that curve in both directions. Now you can see what's happening here. We got a shape that's transforming using those two guide curves, or that direction 2. Now obviously we can do quite a bit with this command, and we're pretty much just scratching the surface. But as you can see, you can take a basic shape and then you can guide it using a couple of other curves. So it's a really powerful tool, and it's pretty straightforward and easy to use. Once everything looks pretty good, go ahead and click on the green check mark, and there is your shape. To finish this thing off, let's go ahead and mirror it over. So we have a body mirror going over this face here. Here's my body. Click over there, and there's my little handle. So it looks pretty good, pretty straightforward and simple to use. It's a very nice tool, and Solidworks does a whole lot of work behind the scenes here to create that boundary, boss, and base.